families. We wanted to send out a little video just going over some of the information you might need if your student needs to quarantine for any reason, or in the case that we go fully remote. And we wanted to give you kind of a little tutorial of how our playlist works, which is the place where you'll find all of the assignments or activities for the week. And then also on Seesaw, how to get them logged in and where to look for activities that will be posted for them. It's a little bit not tricky, but it's new. So let me show you my screen and we can get started. So when you first get to the Seesaw page where you'll log in, it's going to say I'm a teacher, I'm a student, family member. You're going to click I'm a student. And then your student, whoops, let me log out for the purpose of showing you guys this. Okay, so you'll click I'm a student. And then down here, you're not going to worry about an email or anything like that. We don't use that for them. You're either going to put in a text code or a scan code. And you should, from your child's teacher, have either a paper copy of this or an email of this document was sent to you that says Erin Joyce's home learning code. And then it has, here's the text code or the QR code that you can scan. So I'll put in the text code for me. So it's okay. And once you do that, you'll press go and it will bring you into your child's classroom. So each of us first grade teachers have our own classroom on Seesaw. However, the playlist that would be sent out, so the playlist is the document with all the activities, that is the same for each classroom. We just make one for sort of the ease and the equity of activities that we're assigning to kids. And that will always be pinned right up at the top. So as soon as they log in, you have sort of this home screen that says weekly playlist. This is this week's. And then over here, you'll see activities, and activities are also in this feed here as you scroll down. So I've just assigned all of these to myself so that I can see them. And it goes sort of like a Twitter feed or something where the most recent are at the top. And as you scroll down, it goes farther back in date. So the first thing to check is the playlist here. And when you click on it, you'll click on the picture of the actual playlist. Don't click down here where it says view Google Doc. Don't do that because nothing is hyperlinked from Google Docs and it will actually just make it harder for you. Instead, use these little arrows here. And this goes through our week and it goes through each day. So the tabs show you Monday. So in these boxes, it's telling us sort of the agenda for the day. So Zoom and a math lesson. Anything that is a Seesaw activity, that means an activity that will be assigned to your child through Seesaw is going to be sort of tagged in purple. So anything purple like this that says Seesaw will be a separate activity that has been sent out to your child in Seesaw. So today's is a math box page for them. And then in this teal color is letting them know that there's a game that I want them to play on the Everyday Math website. And then a second Zoom. So our Zooms are always at 12, and it's normally about a half hour of instruction and time together, followed by independent work. And then our second Zoom is always at 2 p.m. And that's either more instruction or follow up on work. So this is like what Monday does. So you can scroll through each day. So whatever day your child might be joining us, Tuesday, it's always the same setup, always a Zoom at noon, always a Zoom at 2. And then special. So like if your child happens to be home, they could join the remote group for whatever special they're doing at that time. And then here you can see 2 Seesaw activities that day. Wednesday, you're getting the hang of this. Just again, going over what we'll do each day. And I show this to the students every day when we sign on. We go through this together and talk about the activities that we'll do. And then I go and show them the specific activity on Seesaw and go through directions with them. The other tabs that you might need then are here, this purple tab for Zoom links has linked to the Zoom rooms for some teachers that your students might work with. So for instance, if you have special with Mr. Gimley, you'd click that during the time that they have special, which is 12:30, and join Mr. Gimley that way. So these are just some Zoom links for other teachers. And then the last page has information about how to log on to Epic Books, how to log on to Reading A to Z, and how to access the Everyday Math website, along with our contact info. So that's a lot of information right there in the playlist. Um, when it comes to seeing the actual activities that are assigned each week, you can click on activities here, like I said, or it's just in the feed as soon as you log in. So these are some for last week because I have them all scheduled to go out right before noon each day. But so if this were last week and it was a math practice activity, you and your child would, or your child would click on this. There are always video directions. So ideally, this makes it so that you don't have to tell them what to do. They can click on the play button and hear me tell them what to do, and show them what to do. And then they can follow these prompts. So it says add response to add your response, upload a photo of your completed pages from home, and or use the drawing tool and the text tool to complete here on Seesaw. So if I click add response, it's going to show you the pages that they're asked to do. Now, students who are fully remote with me and learning from home from the beginning have this as a paper copy. And depending on when your child might be home, they might also have paper copies of these materials. But in case they don't, there is always a template attached here on Seesaw so that they can complete it here on the computer or tablet or whatever you're using. So to do this, they're just going to use the drawing tools, the pen tools like down here at the bottom, and they're just, being asked to sort of fill in their answer over here. It is a little bit tricky with like a trackpad or a mouse. So the text tool is another great one where they could just type in their answer. And then if they want to, sort of shrink the box or however they want to do it, and then just drag it to where it goes, that's a fine way to do it as well. Sometimes I will ask them to record something, or if they want to take a picture of the paper, if they have the physical paper, then they would just press the camera icon here. If as they get going, they forget, there's always this spot up here that says view instructions. They can click it again and watch the directions and hear them from me as many times as they need to in order to understand what's going on. Now, when they're done, they're going to want to press this green arrow over in the corner, not arrow, excuse me, this green check mark to submit. So you'll click the check mark. And that check mark is huge because that's how it actually gets submitted to teachers. So we cannot see anything when it's just in draft form or when they're just working on it. So if they worked on part of it and then closed out of Seesaw, it's saved for them, but it's not submitted to us. So the green check mark has to be clicked in order to submit to me. And you'll know because then it says waiting for teacher approval. So once they've done that, they can just X out of this, or they can click back to their other activities over here and see what else is being asked of them. So the journal is where it says things are submitted to the teacher. And this shows any work that's been completed for them. Is the journal page right here, but activities are where they'll go to look for new assignments. So that is a hopefully quick-ish overview of how to access Seesaw, how to look for activities, and how to submit them. I think the big things to know are there is always a video or audio directions from me or from another teacher telling them what to do for each activity. And then I've made a point to always put a template attached with the activity so they can complete it on Seesaw without needing the paper copies of any of those things in case, as we know, quarantining, when it happens, comes up quickly and we don't always have time to, pack everything or send it with us days ahead of time. So I hope this is helpful and always be in touch if you guys have questions.